This is the Coach Maz Show, presented by Griffins baseball alum State Farm agent Alex Hetrick in Murraysville. Like a good neighbor, State Farm agent Alex Hetrick is there. Here's Dan Flickinger and the head coach of the Seton Hill Griffins, Mark Marizaldi.
The Griffins finish off the regular season today with a massive doubleheader against the Gannon Gold Knights. Also Senior Day on the Hill. As we welcome you to Griffins Baseball, I'm Dan Flickinger, and we also welcome you to the Coach Maz Show, presented as always by former Griff State Farm agent Alex Hetrick in Delmont. Like a good neighbor, State Farm agent Alex Hetrick is there. And Maz, we have a lot to get into. We'll talk about those big wins at Gannon yesterday. First off, 6-0 and 10-4. Brandon Bergert, really good in Game 1. And in Game 2, you guys scored in 6 of 7 innings to come back to defeat the Golden Knights. So first of all, just your overall thoughts on what was a big sweep in Erie.
Well, it's always a tough place to play. In recent years, we've done okay up there, but there was a stretch that we could not win a single game up in Erie. So I say this, I've been saying it a lot, which is good. Any sweep on the road is a fantastic sweep. I don't care who you're playing or where you're playing. So it was a pretty good combination of some solid pitching, some timely hitting, and some really good defense. We had some different contributions in each game. It was great to see Bergert as we head into the postseason have a really good start. And even McCullough, the numbers might not say it, but I thought he threw the ball well. He ran into a little bit of traffic early in the game, but he responded really well. And Marinchek, as he does, came in and closed the door for us. So it was all around a pretty good effort. And some standout days from a couple of guys.
It's interesting you say about the struggles in the past at Gannon, because I was talking to former Griffin Zach Hyde, who's the athletic director at Latrobe, and I was telling him about the scenarios of how what you have to do to finish in first place. I said, well, if they sweep Gannon, they're probably going to finish in first. He said, we've had some struggles there in the past. You never know what's going to happen up there. So it was good to get 2 wins yesterday for sure, Maz. And you mentioned Brandon Bergert, just an outstanding effort by him. What was the key for him to do so well yesterday? And you mentioned John, who ran into some trouble early, but was able to survive 5 innings and give you guys a chance.
Well, I think for Bergert, there's just always been a lot of swing and miss on his fastball. I think where he got into trouble sometimes this year is when he wasn't able to locate that fastball in the zone, and he would have to rely on some of his off-speed stuff to get ahead and put guys away. But yesterday, the fastball command was there. He got a lot of outs, fly outs, and swing and miss. The off-speed was actually really good too, but the fastball was the key for his success yesterday. And you asked about McCullough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, John ran into a little bit of trouble, which is uncharacteristic of him, giving up some free bases, and we had to pay for it where they scored their first 2 runs off a walk and hit by a pitch. And then after that, Gannon did a really good job of just squaring him up for the next inning or two, but really proud of how John responded. We kind of had the bullpen stirred in the 3rd inning and had no need to even go to it because he had a really great 4th and 5th inning. So a little bit of a rocky start, but John was so dominant last week. He raised the bar with the expectations. But when you send 2 seniors out there on the road, you have a lot of confidence, and they turned in good performances.
Joe Fedor ended up with really had a great stretch to end the season last year, became your starting second baseman. He handled the final out of the PSAC tournament. He was really good. I know in the fall you had some other guys certainly in the mix. Owen Mandler, Owen Henney, those 2 guys kind of supplanted Joe a little bit at second base, but he did get the start in Game 1 yesterday. What are some of the things that maybe he's doing well? I know maybe it didn't pan out yesterday, but what are some of the things he's doing well that went into the decision of giving him a start?
Well, Joe's defense is elite. It always has been and always will. That's kind of the thing that gets his foot in the door and gets him in the ball game. But he's having good at-bats recently. One thing we always stress with our guys, you've heard me talk about our swing decisions and having a disciplined approach at the plate. And even though Joe might not have any big power numbers during his career, he always continues to make pretty good decisions. So his at-bats are always competitive. And when you couple that with solid defense, I feel like with Joe Fedor, we always know what we're going to get.
Matt Frazetta had 2 more doubles yesterday in Game 1, walked twice in Game 2. Talk about the dynamic now with him and Eli, especially recently, really kind of giving you guys a nice little duo at first base.
Yeah, it's been fun to see that relationship evolve into kind of a lot of teamwork. Two guys doing an outstanding job to take care of business at one position, and now the other guy seems to be taking over the DH role. Um, yeah, coming into the season, we kind of thought Eli would be the leader just because he had a little bit more experience than Frazetta. Frazetta got off to an incredibly hot start. And Eli, the competitor that he is, kind of continues to seize his opportunity. So it's been really good for us to have a 1-2 punch. Eli we had to take him out of the game though. There was an injury there yesterday. I'm not sure how he's feeling today. His knee swelled up on him pretty good. But even if he's not able to go today and we need to rest him, it's nice knowing you can stick a guy in there that's hitting over 300 with 15 doubles.
With Mercyhurst lost to IUP yesterday, Seton Hill wins 2 today. Maz, you win the PSAC Western Division. Is that something that you talk about with the team, or is that something you just believe that obviously they're aware of? Do you get it out there? Kind of how do you approach that mentally going into these final 2 games?
We've got a checklist that we go over the very first day our team is together in the fall. We want to be academic champions. We want to win the PSAC West. We want to win the PSAC Conference Championship. We want to win the Atlantic Region Championship, and we want to win a national championship. Those are our goals, not that we're totally fixated on those. They're kind of our guiding light, if you will. And a lot of those goals, we can't even look and see if we're achieving them or not until very, very late in the year. So having goals that are just so far off in the distance allows us to just kind of focus on playing really good baseball. I think our guys and have done a great job all season long not paying attention to the standings. They've been dealing with what is just exactly right in front of them the next game, kind of a be where your feet are and control what you can control mentality. So I'm glad you told me that, Dan, because I'm not looking at standings. I'm not watching scoreboards. Guys started talking after the first game yesterday about who beat who, and I just said, "Listen, shut up." When the weekend's over, we'll hop on the laptop, look at the website, and see where we finish. But right now, yes, we have a goal, but our primary focus is without a doubt to take care of business against Gannon in Game 1.
You're facing off against your former pupil, going against DJ Cannon again. So many great memories, so many great times here at Seton Hill. Is it still kind of surreal, Baz, to see him in the other dugout? Maybe even a little bit awkward still, or is that something that you've kind of gotten used to seeing DJ on the other side?
No, it's totally awkward. We didn't even know what to say to each other, right? Because all we used to talk about was just baseball and
yeah, recruiting, all that stuff, right?
Yeah, what we're doing with our players, and now you don't want to divulge any secrets, but we have a 15-year relationship, so it's awkward. And DJ's a fierce competitor, as am I. And when you compete for 15 or 12 years with a guy next to you, and now he's on the other side, it's just super weird. But he's a pro, and he's also a Seton Hill alumni. So I think it's probably a little bit more challenging for him too, right? To kind of serve 2 masters in a way, be connected to your former school, but yet lead a different team. But it's fun, man. It's just, we're both blessed to be where we're at right now and to be coaching Division II baseball against each other. So yeah, I mean, we've gone back and forth. He got us pretty good a couple years ago. We got him last year, and now this series is up for grabs.
Wasn't that last year, Maz? I think it was when you were celebrating the 20 years and you had gifts for all the alumni and you brought his gift out to home plate to make it even more awkward.
Yeah, it sucks. I hate putting him in a tough position. You know what I mean? I know he's got to be obviously loyal and focused on his guys at Gannon, but being such a staple in our program for 12 years, it's hard to overlook that.
Well, today is senior day, and I know, heck, we could make a whole show about the seniors. But if you could try to just encapsulate just a couple of thoughts on this senior class, which, man, this is one we'll remember for a long time, I think.
Well, impactful on so many levels. the all conference players, the record holders, the championships that these guys have led us to, the academic success that our team has had while they've been here, which they've been absolute champions of. There's a lot of really, really good baseball players leaving Seton Hill after this year, but there's going to be some really, really successful people out in the business world and beyond these walls here at Seton Hill from this class. And the other thing too, it's their families, right? Like these guys have played for us for 4 or 5 years. And they're going to be pretty sad to leave, and we're going to be sad that they're leaving too. But I think it's to be harder for their moms and dads because they're not going to know what to do. We've had such amazing support and following from the parents of this class. It's going to change the program. It's going to change our program for the better. The legacy and just the values and lessons that these guys have passed down to the people behind them, and there'll be a different look up on the hill next year, without the 12 sets of parents that have been following us around for 4 or 5 years. But I'm incredibly grateful that I had the chance to have a front row seat to the amazing accomplishments of this 2024 class.
And finally, I know we have a lot to get into here. Just want to leave you with this: the Versus Cancer Foundation, the head shaving last week, but more importantly, all the money that you raised. The two kids that were there that you recognized, which was awesome. They got to throw out the first pitch. What a day that was, not just baseball wise, getting two big wins against Slippery Rock Maz, but again, what this baseball program continues to accomplish and continues to give back with Versus Cancer. It really is amazing. Congratulations on, what you guys were able to do. And I'm sure that was a special day for everyone.
Yeah, it really was. That was probably one of the most emotional and impactful days that we've ever done with Versus Cancer. Just having, two survivors and their families there, young survivors, kids that are attached to sports. I was just really grateful to them and their families that our players were able to connect with them. We spend the whole season raising money and then the head shaving, but to actually be able to see and connect firsthand with the people that we're making an impact for, that's what it's all about. I'm glad our players were able to share that experience.
Maz, good luck today. Go get two against our old friend DJ, and we'll talk again here soon. All right.
Sounds awesome. Thanks, Dan.
That is the Coach Maz Show presented by State Farm agent Alex Hetrick in Delmont. We'll have first pitch coming up.